Alrighty, here we have Open Season from Sit Down. Here's your design team and your artist. It's distributed over here by the Flat River Group. Do your best to get ahead. These thugs have ransacked your dungeon. From now on, they'll adorn your parlor. So, choose 2 cards, place a card on your wall and the other in your supply. Trigger cascading bonus actions. 2 to 4 players, 15 minutes per player, 10 and up. Let us get inside and see what's all in there. Alright, let's open this up. First, there's the inside of the box lid. Pretty cool looking. Then we have us a rule book. Come here. There is all of the contents. I'm going to kind of focus on the cards here because I'm not going to lay out all of the cards. There's 180 of them, so that would be a little bit excessive. So here is the setup. I will lay out some of the cards though, so you can kind of get a good eye on them. Playing the game. Continuing to play the game. Hey, guess what? You're still playing the game. Now we're to the end of the game. A complete scoring example. Because the scoring can get a little wonky in this one. The shield side of the player boards. The expert tiles if you choose to play with those. And then all of the icons at a glance. Which I will explain to you after I show you what's inside when I teach you how to play the game. So you have 4 player boards. Let's get one of these here open for you. So this is the horn side, this is the basic side. You're going to see a lot of iconography on them. I'll get into that when I get into the teach. And then your other side is the shield side, and you'll see a little bit of different layout, less spots, etc. Then if we get back here into the box, we have some tokens. So for these tokens, we have some cartouches. I just learned that word for this game. These are cartouches. Then you have trophy tokens and wild tokens and negative point tokens. Again, explained in the teach. Here are those expert tiles. You have some in each color, like so. And these go at the top of the board. You have a score pad, so you can see, let's see, so she won the first one by 16, and then she won the second one by 2. So, here are all those cards. So let me just go ahead and grab like a small handful and kind of spread them out here. Give you an idea of what they all have. You have the different faces for the different races and classes, and then you have their attributes, and you'll see, so this is earrings, so you'll see the earrings on their head. This is a crown, so you'll see the crown on their head. So there is a small sampling. Like I said, 180 cards. Not going to lay them all out for you. What I am going to do for you is teach you how to play the game. Coming up now. Alright, so here we are set up for a basic play of Open Season. You are going to give each person a player board. You're going to put it on the side that shows the little horn. You're going to create a supply of trophy tokens and the cartouches, wild tokens, and negative ones. But at most, the player can ever get 6 trophies, 1 wild, a cartouche, or this. So we kind of just give them all to a person, and they can grab them if they accomplish them. You're going to shuffle up all the cards, create an in of 4 cards. Again, usually in the middle of the table. I'm just doing this thusly to show you. You can also put them next to each other. Then, if you are choosing to play with the advanced tiles, you are going to each person grab their 7 advanced tiles, secretly choose which ones and which faces they want to do, and put them at the top of the board, like so. But again, that is an advanced rule set. On your turn, you're going to perform the following 6 steps. First thing you're going to do is you're going to complete the inn. You are going to make sure there are 4 characters in the inn. After that, you are going to move any stock you have into your accolades, which is a face-down pile. Your accolades, you can adjust them however you want, move them around, restore them, but they stay face down. After that, you're going to choose 2 cards from the inn. So we are going to, let's say I'm going to choose this card and this card. You then take those into your hand. Then you're going to place one of them on your wall, possibly triggering some form of ability or effect. Let's take a closer look at the board at this time. So you're going to see this green border right here with the not equal. Each one of these needs to be a different character. So if they were already there, I cannot place this one face up here. If I am forced to, because if I am able to place it somewhere else, I must. But if I have no option to place one here, you'll place it face down, and that will be negative points at the end of the game. So let's go over the spaces on the board. So that is, those all have to be different. These, if they are all the same, you'll receive 5 points. This one, if you complete all 3 of these between rounds 3 and 6, you will get 4 trophy tokens and this negative point token. This spot here, if you fill this between rounds 1 and 4, you get this green cartouche that will replace that scoring at the end of the game. In this spot, if you put it between rounds 1 and 2, you get 2 trophy tokens. 3 and 4 is a wild. 5 and 6 is only 1 trophy token. I'll go over these other symbols when I explain endgame scoring, but we'll now look at these symbols on the top row. So what's going to happen is, let's use these 2 as an example, and say I put one of them there, and then step 5 is you place a card in your stock. Now you can trigger 1 or more actions if possible. If the card you put in your stock matches one of the cards in the upper row, you will do the denoted action on that spot. You can only ever trigger each action once per round, no matter what else happens. If you trigger this, you are going to take the top card of a player's stock. If their stock is empty, you will take one randomly from their accolades. That player will then grab one character from the inn or from the top of the deck blindly and put that into their stock without triggering an action. If the stolen card matches a card up here, I will then trigger said action as long as it has not been triggered again. So if I stole another one of these and put this down, I would not be able to trigger this ability again. In this spot, you are able to take a trophy token that's on the top row and move it down to your bottom row. That'll make sense when I explain trophy tokens. This next one is, you are going to draw 2 from the top of the deck, look at them, and add one of them to your stock, putting the other ones face up, or back on the top, face down. This final spot lets you take a card from the inn and put it below your board as your supply, and next round that'll be in your hand, so you're only going to take 1 card from the inn. So that is those 4 spots that can get triggered from there. After doing the triggering from your stock, if you have a trophy token, you can place it on a card in the top row to trigger one of the actions you have not taken yet this turn. So if I have already done the draw 2, take 1, which I already have, I cannot put this on here and take that action again. Again, these can only happen once per round. So you are going to be playing back and forth until everyone has their boards filled up. You are only going to be placing 1 card per round, so the game will play over 11 rounds, and then you'll get into end game scoring. Your end game scoring, you're going to take all the cards in your accolades, lay them out by creature type. I like to create columns of creatures and rows of the attributes because you'll be scoring those as well. Going down our score sheet, any of your creatures in your accolades that match either creature that is here is going to be -2 points or -3 points per card respectively. Any cards that match this spot or this spot is going to be 1 point or 2 point respectively. And then you're going to look at this spot, and if you have the most of this specific one in your accolades than everyone else, you get 10. You have to have specifically most, you can't be tied. You'll get -5 points for every face down card. You're going to get 2 points per creature in your accolade that shares the attribute with whatever card is in this spot. You are then going to score points for a set of 1 of each different attribute. There is 5 of them. If you get this cartouche, it's worth 7 points per set. Otherwise, it's worth 4 points per set. If all 3 of these are the same, you get 5 points. If you've unlocked this tile, you're going to get minus 1 point per card that has an attribute of your least amount of attribute. Your trophy tokens, if they're placed here, are going to be a point. If they're placed here, they're going to be worth 2 points. If you place them here, they're going to be an additional one of that type of creature. So if I have these 2 of my accolades and I have this one here, I have 3 of this monkey man looking guy. You're going to total all that up, subtract your other points, and most points wins. This last row here is if you're playing with the advanced tiles. Now let me quickly go over the back side, the advanced side of the board. It is slightly different. First off, you're only doing 9 spots. Next is, instead of using the trophy tokens on the bottom rows or to trigger abilities, if you place them here between rounds 6 and 9, you get one. Then you choose one of these to use as an end game scoring. This is if you have 18 or more cards in your accolades, you'll get 7 points. If you have a full set of all attributes in one type of creature. So if I have him with all 5 attributes, that would be 7 points. This next one is if I have 5 cards on my wall that share the same attribute, that is 7 points. And then 1 point per attribute of my choice. All these still stay the same, 1 point and 2 point. However, your negative points are now just -2 and -2. You get your wild token down here. There is no upgrading of the cartouche, and there is no negative token on this side. The other change is this ability. You now instead will be able to take one choice from the inn and immediately place it atop your stock, triggering an action. So instead of reserving it for a future turn, it goes into your stock. So that is the shield side of the board. Really quick on these advanced tiles, how you trigger them is this is an additional 7th step in your turn, is if all 3 spots in that column all share the same attribute, you unlock the ability of that tile. Then they have 18 different or 14 different abilities because there's 7 different tiles. In that regards, the wild token, which I haven't covered yet, can be used during the game. Outside of that, what they normally are used for is at the end of the game, when you go to this spot, you can put it on this card to change its attribute for end game scoring, or you can place it on a card in your accolade to give it a different attribute for this, or to possibly help score you down at the bottom. Alrighty, but that is how you play open season. Hope you enjoyed. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell for this video and this channel. We are much obliged when you do that for us. And until next time, fill that in.